Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Legacy of the Rimlen. We've skipped a couple weeks, also almost skipped this week because I'm feeling pretty sick. Maybe that's why I'm talking a bit oddly, and I'll keep talking oddly throughout the session. Apologies about that, as in short sentences and stuff like that. Anyway, last time, not a lot of stuff happened, but tensions were nevertheless very, very high. So before we get into what did happen, though, I'll ask these people to introduce themselves and their characters. Dice say that we ought to start first and foremost with Milo, who also changed something about their character that I would ask them to go into detail about when, Please go ahead, Milo.
Okay. Hi, I'm Milo. I'm playing Miroslav, who is at the moment trying not to get mugged by some younger slaves of the estate. And you might see that I have a new stunt, which will hopefully help me get them off of me, not mug me, and not make a big thing out of it. So, yeah.
As with most stunts, it will depend quite a bit on how you play it. I'm willing to give stunts quite a bit of liberty, but like say, for example, Milo says, I'm hiding my money. Well, okay, they'll steal your lucky charm instead, just as an example.
Yeah, fair.
If you had one, obviously. Okay. Thank you very, very much, Milo. Next, according to the dice, we would have Dely. Could you please go ahead and introduce yourself and your character, Dely?
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. I'm Dely. As usual, I'm playing as not Milo, Muninn. That's it. So I'm playing as Muninn, the traveling scholar turned Oracle of Acacius. And currently trying to get themselves in trouble, essentially. That's how I would describe it. But it's a little bit more nuanced than that, I guess.
In a way, you're causing a lot of trouble but also kind of extricating yourself from it. Depends. I said this before the session. I don't know if you were here, Dely. Depends entirely on how you guys play it today. I don't know what's gonna happen. Depends entirely on what you say and do. You, I mean the collective you, not you in particular.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pressure. I'm kidding.
Oh, well, not far from the truth. Thank you very, very much, Dely. And then, of course, we would have Show&Tell. Could you please go ahead and introduce yourself and your character?
Yes, hi, I'm Show&Tell, and I'll be playing as Anghel, who's a mute peasant boy, and also has very memorable eyes, it seems. And also he's like in a dilemma of what to do, who to side with, what will help be the best for him. I don't know the answers.
We'll see. We will see. I imagine the viewers don't necessarily know what you're talking about because it was not really an offhanded line, but something you guys didn't pay much attention to last session, so it's funny that you bring it up now.
it caught my attention. I was like, that's weird. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very, very much, Show&Tell. So, last time we continued where we left off the previous time, with Anghel dropping the tray out of pure emotion, for lack of a better term. Soldiers staring at him. Was a very, very tense situation. I'm gonna skim through quite a few of the details of Anghel's confrontation with the soldiers, dear viewers, just because a lot of it was the head soldier person asking Anghel questions and Anghel not answering for various reasons. So that's not necessarily here nor there for our recap purposes. But either way, the commander mentioned, hey, I think I know you from somewhere, or at least like someone with your eyes. And I should mention the commander person is someone that had a more or less cameo in the cinematic that you can find pinned to sort of the quote-unquote front page of my channel, dear viewers, if you want to view it. He is the Kermo officer that the nobleman Andronikos Palas, whose estate you guys are on, I will mention, wanted to tell that the prince was a traitor. I hope that sentence made sense. Anyway, among the various snippets that Anghel gave the soldiers, he told them that he knows Ophelia when he was asked, which prompted the soldiers to bind him and always thirsty, though the binding was more of a symbolic gesture. It was very, very clear that Anghel could break said binding if he wished, and nevertheless he was released from it so that he could use his hands from talking a bit later. Either way, all this was going on. Muninn and Miroslav retrieved Ribab from the shallow grave. They were wondering how to help Ribab, because Ribab was shot, not to put fine of a term on it. And Muninn asked Akesis for help. Akesis bluntly stated that this is a deciding moment. Either Muninn could abandon Anghel immediately and leave Ribab behind, leave the estate, almost like pretend none of this ever happened, or he could come out in the open with Ribab in tow and tell the owners of the estate everything. From Akesis' point of view, there was just these two very extreme choices. And Muninn went with the second option. Presumably, I guess, Deli, feel free to interject, but presumably because you did not want to leave Anghel behind?
That was the main driving force, I think. I also thought... No, I mean, yeah, I think that's the main driving force of it, to be honest.
Okay. And so, Muninn, Akesis through Muninn healed Ribab, and which also woke him up. Ribab wanted to escape like the rational person that he is. Muninn, though, per Akesis' command, had to reveal Ribab, so they struggled against each other for a bit. Meanwhile, Miroslav put the effort in to conceal the grave, the shallow grave that Ribab was buried in. And on that note, Miroslav, may I get, I guess, a sneaky from you? I think, just to see, like, this number that you will roll will be the difficulty. Okay, you rolled a -1. That number will be the number that someone has to beat to discover this shallow grave, if they're looking for it.
I think I did a bad job.
Oh, no.
You may use your fate points if you so wish, but
No.
fair enough.
I think since Muninn and Ribab are on the way to get everything in the open anyway, yeah, I don't think it's a big problem.
Sure. I should mention, I asked you to roll not because, I'm planning something nefarious with that grave, but I'm also not very sure what's going to happen today. And if for whatever reason looking for that grave is important, hey, it's good to have a number in mind for it.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
So going back to our retelling, while Miroslav was hiding said shallow grave, Muninn and Ribab were struggling with each other. Akesis was trying to hurry Muninn along, and so Muninn unleashed a flash of light, grabbing everyone's attention and forcefully took Ribab in the open. Ribab couldn't really resist, given that it was Munin's stunt and all that. And they were immediately seen by the person that Show&Tell not lovingly, but you know what I mean, nicknamed the Blood Woman, whose actual name is Piroshka. Anyway, she saw Muninn and Ribab was looking to go and confront them. I guess I'll finish this part of the retelling first. Muninn announced that, hey, I want to speak to the person in charge here, since Akesis told Muninn that the owner of the estate isn't there. So Muninn used the term the person in charge. And Piroshka said, well, you're speaking to her. And noticing Ribob said, oh, that's interesting. Why don't you guys come inside so that we can talk more? Referencing the estate. And Muninn, per Cassius's command, eagerly complied. Ribob, once he was spotted, decided not to resist, because being revealed in and of itself is kind of telling in and of itself, so to say. And also, Cassius warned Muninn, don't stick too close to this woman, she's dangerous. Okay? Make sense?
Yes.
And, sorry. And going back as to what happened with Anghel and Miroslav, I guess going with Anghel first. There was more posturing, a lot of Ertrul, the commander person, telling Anghel, tell me the truth or I'll shoot you, or I'll cut off your finger or your hand. There were a lot of threats. Anghel didn't tell much. But he did realize, I think via a clever role, that telling these people the truth would allow, and like revealing Ribob and all that, would mean that they would be allowed to proceed to the prince and presumably arrest him, kill him, depose him, whatever. So Anghel, still undecided what to do, said, basically only revealed that he's here because he heard that a friend was buried here and that he doesn't know by whom, and that this friend's name was Abdul. If the viewers and the players don't remember, Abdul was the other sort of person of color, so to say, in the village that, funnily enough, some other NPCs confused with Ribob. So, yeah, Anghel sort of played into that. And which mostly confused and intrigued the soldier, and he asked a bunch more questions of like, oh, you mean Abdul who's so-and-so servant, and Abdul who's in this village and such, which obviously Anghel did not know the answer to. Either way, Miroslav, meanwhile, tried to sort of escape this. Well, I don't want to necessarily put proverbial words in Milo's mouth, but tried to distance himself from the scene would be, I guess, a more neutral way of saying it, by hiding among the slaves. He was instantly recognized, and the slaves asked, hey, you look like you're clean, that's weird, and oh, you're a servant for a rich person, okay, give me your money. And Miroslav was in the process of being swarmed and mugged by a bunch of younger slaves, as in like age 10 and under, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And Miroslav didn't want to cause a scene by doing anything against them, but also didn't want to give them something to shut up, because they wouldn't stop. So, yeah. He's trying his best to keep a low profile.
Indeed. Sorry, I again, I'm sick. I just realized how relieving it was to stop talking, if that makes sense. Anyway, as I go and turn on the background music, since it's, as usual, been a bit of a while, as usual, I'll ask everyone around, hey, what's up with everyone? How are you all feeling? How was your day? Etc., etc., etc. I don't have anyone necessarily in mind of whom to start first, so would anyone like to volunteer among the players? I can appoint people, of course, but go ahead, Dely.
I was just going to say, it's a little bit risky what I feel like what Muninn's doing is a little bit risky.
But little,
because because I mean, they could end up like, things could go wildly not according to plan, and to be honest, they don't really have a plan anyway. So if it wasn't for this whole Oracle thing, they probably wouldn't be doing what they're doing. But at the same time, we got to get Anghel out of there. We got to get him back. So I mean, Muninn would always be up for that if you know what I mean. Regardless.
A bit of, I guess, additional reminder that I did not mention the recap because it was like brought up a bit of a while ago in terms of sessions. Akesius mentioned that the choice that he gave you last session is basically a choice between two factions that like interest him because both of those factions have people that are working for him. That you kind of know, kind of don't know. And I will not say out loud just because, yeah. And Anghel being discovered and all that has sort of forced the confrontation between the factions. So that was sort of the choice, one faction or the other. And you chose one, let's say.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. But either way, I feel like we're going to have to make use of our words, ironically, which is quite rich coming from the person that just like ran in headfirst, no regard for anything.
May I get a clever from you to see if you realize something, Deli?
Yeah, sure. I got a 4.
I'm willing to give this to you because it's not a very difficult role. Obviously, Akesius is pushing you to do things and to all that. And you might think, oh, I have no choice but to, like, placate these people and potentially sacrifice myself and all that. But with that role, I can tell you, by being the Oracle of Akesius, you're technically Akesius' most important servant, at least at the moment. So if, like, push comes to shove and he has to make, like, Sophie's choice between these people or you, he's gonna choose you.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does. But it doesn't make me feel better. But thank you for telling me.
Sure. Anything else you'd like to add about Muninn's feelings? And feel free to ask me like questions about what's going on around me, what are the people around me doing, so I can, if you need it, provide additional context. Okay?
Yeah, sure. The only thing I might ask right now is, am I right in thinking that Rebob is still, because last session I was holding him by the wrist or something and dragging him around. Am I still sort of holding on to him, or has he like gained his senses back and is like trying to get out of there?
Well, as mentioned, up to you if you still want to hold him or not. But since he was noticed, he has stopped fighting against you. He's like, okay, shit, I was seen. Running away won't help with anything. I am coming with, if that makes sense. He doesn't like it, but he's pragmatic.
Sure. Okay, that makes sense. I feel like obviously Muninn would probably like let go of Rebob. Obviously, we don't have to like go straight into Uppy or anything like that, but I feel like if Muninn noticed that, they'd probably let go of him to be like, almost in a way to be like, yeah. So Muninn is telling Rebob that they know that he's in it for the long run now, if that makes sense. I don't even know if that was English, to be honest.
It makes sense to me.
Okay.
Don't know about the other players, but it did to me.
Okay. I have the power now, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, it does make sense.
Okay. Cool. I'm glad it does.
Rebob still trying to like recover from nearly being blinded by you, only responds with a glare. And you're not entirely sure if he can actually see you.
Yes.
You are aware that he's at least aware of his surroundings, because when he heard Piroshka's voice, he said, "Oh shit, not her."
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I think I vaguely remember that, yeah.
By the way, does Piroshka mean red or something like that?
I believe so. It's been a while since I came up with her name.
Oh.
Because I think in Hungarian,
it is a Hungarian name. Red. It is a Hungarian name.
Okay, cool.
And she, above board, is inspired by a real-life Hungarian I'm not gonna say what it is because I guess it would be kind of a spoiler, but a bad person, let's say.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, I remember. Yeah. Okay. I remember my theory, not what she actually is. Mind, like, let me clarify that.
Yeah, that was confusing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else from you, Dely, in terms of Munin's thoughts and feelings? Again, this is before going into, like, actually hitting the play button and unpausing, so to say.
I don't think so. Not majorly. The only thing, obviously, is that, and I think I already said it. Yeah. I mean, without repeating myself, yeah, I don't think I have anything new to say, if you know what I mean.
Noted, thank you. I almost said Dely. Show&Tell and Milo, between the two of you, would anyone like to go next? Or shall I appoint someone? Again, this is just in terms of what your characters are feeling. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so Miroslav is very agitated because things did very much not go to plan for him, because he wanted to get Muninn and Rhubarb out of there as soon as possible, since, well, they are both very noticeable in different ways. So, yeah, now he's kind of, like, on one hand, being like, okay, how can I help them, but also, how do I not get all the attention on myself, and how do I get these kids off of me?
Yeah.
I'm curious, Milo. What are Miroslav's thoughts on Muninn so blatantly and intentionally revealing themselves? As in, Muninn purposefully ran out to reveal themselves along with Rhubarb. It wasn't an accident.
I think he kind of knows that it wasn't really Muninn doing it, because he did hear, or well, saw that Muninn was
Their eyes were glowing and all that.
Oh, I see.
yeah, discussing or fighting with both Rhubarb and Acacius in different ways.
Yeah.
So he is aware that it wasn't like Muninn making the whole decision. He is very unhappy with it. Because he doesn't know how to get him out of there. And how to get everyone out of there, because he was still very sure that Anghel would manage to get out somehow.
At least one person's sure.
I mean, he doesn't know what's going on inside the estate, so for him it was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna bring those two out, and Anghel will manage with Always Thirsty's help in some way.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
So, yeah.
But noted. Sorry, I'm pausing. You know why. Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you,
All
Milo.
good.
Thank you, Milo. And speaking of Show&Tell, would you care to sort of run us down what Anghel is feeling at the moment?
Very conflicted, as he was almost all last episode. Hasn't changed, sadly.
Oh.
Like, I guess trying to weigh like the pros and cons of, I don't even know. Like, I don't know if you can really weigh them, because I don't know if he knows them enough.
Bits and pieces, but funnily enough, I did have you near the end of the last session roll, hey, give me a clever or careful to figure out some stuff, and you rolled very poorly. So Anghel in character is also not quite certain of what to do.
Yeah, that's for sure. I tend to think like maybe he's maybe he's just gonna think, like go, like I don't know, like think about it in like simple terms because it's like really confusing at this point. So like, on the one hand, like the prince is like a jerk, but he can also help. I mean, we also have like this sort of promise from Ophelia that she would, introduce us or something, right?
And also, sorry, speak on your behalf,
Mm-hmm.
which is not nothing.
Right.
And you also, I'm sorry, I'm pausing for unrelated reasons. And you also have the promise that Miron gave to your future brother-in-law, Joseph. And,
Right.
And Joseph, as far as you know, has gone on ahead to talk to the prince. He ran on ahead because it's important that he talk to the prince about it before word reaches him that, hey, Miron's dead, you don't have to,
Miron is
like...
dead.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. So we have that. And then on the other hand, like if we help these people, I guess we could maybe get some help from them. But I think that's a little less like certain. Not that anything is certain, but like it's less it's less something that we worked for, I guess.
True.
So I think that Anghel might have made his choice. Like putting it this way. Mm-hmm.
I'm sure. You don't know the details, obviously, but the prince and this person in front of you can obviously help in different ways, as most people can. That's such a vague statement. I'm sorry.
Helping, like if I choose, like if Anghel chooses to help this guy, you mean?
Well, yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is, hypothetically, if you decide to go 100% against the prince, hypothetically, that doesn't mean that, oh, Angel's sister is dead.
Yeah, right. True. I mean, I know that there are like probably two ways, more than two ways to go about anything, but I think in terms of like what Angel is thinking, I guess it makes more sense that he would just continue like with what he, with what we've been working for, like, getting to the prince currently.
Yeah.
There's even a side to go on a tangent. There's actually a saying in my language that what you have is not a lie. So, like, don't try to reach for things because what you already have is certain, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But doesn't mean that you are bound by this, at least from my point of view. Anyway, anything else, show and tell? Or shall we hit the play button for whichever person wants to have the camera on them when the play button starts?
Sure, let's go for it. I don't know who though.
Sure.
I mean, I don't.
Half an hour in, we're making good time.
Awesome.
So would anyone like to volunteer to be the centerpiece of the camera when we start? Or shall I appoint someone? No pressure, obviously. Feel free to, yeah.
I don't mind, unless someone else really does want to go first. I'd even suggest, like, did you want to roll a dice or something? To leave it to fate. Fate accelerate that is.
I'm fine with I'm fine with Dely. Above board, I'll be completely honest. Obviously, stuff will happen with Anghel, but I'm not sure what more will happen other than Ertul asking Anghel questions and Anghel probably not answering.
Okay.
So I was sort of torn above board between Dely and Milo, or Muninn and Miroslav, I suppose. So whichever one of you two wants to go, it's perfectly fine with me. Or, of course, Show&Tell, if you really want to go, we can also have the camera center on Anghel. Sorry, words.
I'm fine with Dely going first.
Okay.
Never mind.
Okay, I guess I'm going first.
Sure. So I don't remember the exact words you said to Rebob, but Rebob answered with a glare. Piroshka invited you to the estate to discuss further. Akesis compels you to do so, but also tells you, hey, be wary of Piroshka. And Piroshka is like doing this gesture of like, come on, after you. She doesn't want to like expose her back to the two of you, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Just to clarify, have you been able to have Muninn's been able to smell her already? Haven't they?
Oh, if you're talking about the blood thing, only Ashen knows. Well, Illona.
Okay, that's fine. Because I wasn't sure where we were with that. But Muninn would,
because of Show&Tell above board.
yeah, fair enough. Muninn would keep their wits about them. They'd probably look. Could I look with my careful eyes to see this woman's intentions?
I'm sorry. Yes, of course you may.
Okay, I will do so. Right now, I do think I do have careful eyes, right? I think so.
I believe so. I will also check real brief. This overlay.
Yeah, I do.
Carefully overcoming scenario that it requires a sharp eye. It would. Okay. Her smile is obviously fake. She's wary of you, but is more intrigued by Rebob and what the hell could Rebob possibly be doing here. Clearly, she knows Rebob, or at least of Rebob. She's very, very wary.
Yes.
She is not hesitant to kill the two of you if need be. What other questions do you have for me? Because I'm willing to tell you quite a bit with your role, but point me in a direction, so to say.
I'm obviously restricted to what I can see as opposed to my other senses, right? So I can't use my eyes to smell her. But I guess
that's some Tzeentchian Lovecraftian stuff, okay?
Yeah. But what kind of clothes is she wearing? Like, is she regal? Does she look poor?
No, she looks like a noble. She looks like a noble woman. Not a rich one, but oddly enough, a foreign one. A Mansi one. Though you're not sure if it's like the Caramel Mansi or the Eastland Mansi, because they're politically divided.
Okay. Could I have a reminder? I feel like we were talking about Mansi last session. Could I have a reminder as to what Mansi is, if that's okay, please?
A people.
Oh, just a piece. Okay.
They are the country that's to the west of the country that you're in.
Okay, that makes sense. Do we know anyone else that's Mansi? Of like, sorry to ask silly questions, but do we know anyone else?
You haven't met any in this campaign. As to whether you've met them in your backstories,
right?
Miroslav almost certainly has.
Okay.
Anghel probably not. Muninn probably has.
Okay, that's fine. As far as questions, and she doesn't have any weapons on her, right?
Oh, she has a knife that she has clearly been using to eat food with, that she's ready to use as a weapon.
Oh.
And she brandished it to show off, to make sure you understand that she can use this thing, not to its intended effect, but you know what I mean.
Okay. I think Muninn would I don't know if they would say anything in particular, but they would definitely give this lady a wide berth as they approach the entrance of the building, I suppose, or just wherever she's sort of guiding them. And they'd look to.
I rolled her careful. She's also inspecting you the same way you inspected her. Feel free to give me a sneaky to oppose it if you so wish.
I would like to. I don't have any sneaky stunts. That's fine. A 4, so that's okay. As in, I don't mind that I failed. That's what I meant.
She eyes you up and down, sniffs, visibly sniffs you. She has a look of confusion on her face. Akesis tells you in your mind, I'm fine with telling this to everyone, it's not really a spoiler. Akesis tells you in your mind, Muninn, she is wondering if you're as messed up as she is.
Messed up?
Because of your smell. You smell of rot.
Oh, I see.
And she is surprised to find out that not exactly.
Muninn would ask Acacius.
Your eyes glow wide, grabbing the attention of everyone. Go ahead.
That's fine. Ordinarily, I think Munin's instinct would be to hide that, but I feel like we're past that point at the moment. But Muninn would ask Acacius, messed up. What do you mean?
I'm going to roll some Piroshka Sneaky. Feel free to oppose it if you so like. It would imply you're stunned because you're noticing something with your eyes.
Okay. Ah, damn. I'm not going to do a fate point or anything. I'll leave it to intrigue.
Let us simply say that the more you avoid her, the better.
Okay. Well, I suppose that
I believe if I were to tell you more about her, that would unsettle you too much.
Well, you don't have to tell me twice. I want to make this as brief as possible. I don't really like the look of this woman. Muninn would look to Rebob, that's his name. Muninn would look to Rebob and to like sort of inspect his.
He's still blinking, trying to recover his vision, but he follows along.
Okay, so he's not making any kind of particular sort of. How do I put it? Like he doesn't have any opinion either way. Then typically, or especially, should I say?
I mean, you know his opinion. He doesn't want to be here, but you forced him to be here, and current circumstances are it's better to talk than to try to run away, because being seen here is a thing in and of itself.
Okay, that's
Sorry.
fine. Muninn would ask you. Did Muninn would ask Rebob just outright, actually.
In your shot of, like, say, Piroshka?
I would like to keep it under their breath, if you know what I'm saying. So it's a little bit private.
Give me a sneaky.
Okay. Please, God. Not that it's that particularly important.
Piroshka got a 6, you got a 4.
Okay. That's fine. I mean, obviously, so Muninn was going to say, do you know this woman?
Tangentially. And Piroshka intervenes and says out loud, I know of him, which is particularly interesting, but come on in. We ought to talk inside, not here. There's too many places where you two can escape out here, you see.
Well, we're not going to be here for long. I'm only here for one thing.
We'll see. Come on in.
And then Muninn would approach and sort of follow her lead, I guess.
Once again, she tries to usher the two of you into the estate, her not exposing her back to the two of you, so letting you two go ahead.
Okay, that's fine. Muninn would... Did you say she had a knife in her hand, or is it holstered? Oh, she does. Muninn would probably sort of keep... It's
very obviously a kitchen knife.
Yeah. Oh, she's totally a cannibal. So Muninn would... The only way I can describe it is like, you know how cowboys like have their hands on their hips, but really they have their hands on their shooting iron? That's what Muninn would have, but for their... one of their daggers, you know. They're not really trying to be sneaky, but they are like about it, is what I'm saying. But it is somewhat subtle, or like at least they would I don't know, depending on who you ask or whatever.
Well, I'll ask outright. Are you trying to conceal your weapon or sort of the opposite?
I think more so the opposite, if you know what I mean.
Then she will tusk and say, good friends don't enter each other's houses with weapons, do they?
Well,
Drop those.
drop them. I don't want to do that.
Just do it. Your eyes glow white. Says Akessis in your mind.
Is that the...
You do not want to provoke this woman. He says in your mind.
Yeah, that's fine. Muninn was about to say something along the lines of like, "Oh, do you think that's the wisest?" But before they realize what has happened, I suppose, like, they would drop their knife, or like, at the very least, they'd like unholster their knife and like hand it over to the woman.
Takes it. Well, are you giving it point first or handle first? I'm curious.
Point first.
Point first to the woman. Okay. She grabs it gingerly. Do you allow her to take it?
Very yes, but obviously I'm not very happy about it.
She quickly flips it and like makes a stabbing motion towards you. Stops herself. She's just trying to intimidate you, and chuckles at you.
No.
Then holsters the knife.
Muninn would say, could Muninn... I don't want to like do something that's a little bit too meta, actually. So Muninn would say, a bit unusual to use a kitchen knife as a weapon, don't you think?
I heard shouting, so I came to see what was wrong with what I had on hand. Don't worry, I'm plenty capable of dealing with anything that may come up. Oh, you too, Rebob, she says to Rebob, like indicating that he should also disarm himself. Rebob sighs and hands Piroshka her pistol and his sword. Piroshka says, all of it, dear Rebob. Rebob sighs, pulls a knife out of his boot, another one out of his pants, and one from underneath his hat.
Under his hat!
A smaller one.
That's cool. I wonder if Muninn would say, I wonder if you've got any knives anywhere else that you're not telling us about. And then like Muninn would look to like Rebob's like bum area.
Good.
His prison wallet area.
He looks at you with an expression of like, are you trying to get me busted? And Piroshka like points at him with one of the knives and says, all of it, dear Rebob.
Oh no, don't pull one out.
And
Don't
Rebob
do
does
it.
pull one, not what like prison style, not but his pants are very baggy. That's I'm
No,
not
that's
saying
fine.
I'm not saying that as an excuse. His pants are actually very baggy.
Okay, that's fine. Muninn would hold their hands up and be like, "Oh, my bad. I was only joking, but." I mean, can't always be. You can never be too prepared, I guess.
I agree, says Piroshka. Rebob says nothing, just hands over his excessive weaponry.
Where's Muninn's spear of Acestius in all of this, by the way?
Oh yeah, I guess it would be on you.
I guess Muninn would have handed that. Should we retroactively, like Muninn would have handed that over to you?
I'm trying to. Yeah, it does look like a spear, so she would ask for it. Because
Yeah,
I guess she would ask for it even if it just looked like a big stick. But yeah.
No, that's fine. Yeah, Muninn would have done it along with. I feel like Muninn would have done it along with their knives, daggers, because they were sort of instructed to.
She takes the
Almost.
spear. She takes the spear, inspects it, finds like she clearly finds it bizarre. Says, "Bit short for a pike, isn't it?"
Have you never seen a spear before?
She says it's a bit short for a pike, and above board pikes can be like 5 meters long.
Oh.
Even more than that, actually. But yeah,
Yeah. I guess Muninn would say.
this is just a spear, and they're slightly unusual. Not very, but slightly.
So she's never seen one before.
No, she probably has, but she's not expecting one on you
Okay.
or on anyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I guess Muninn would say like, it's Muninn would say something like, it's not. Don't want to make another dick joke or like but
God damn it! Okay, I should not have said anything. I did.
yeah. Muninn would say something along the lines of like, oh, it's not my first choice of weapon, but it's like it's you don't want to be caught on the other end of it.
She nods absent-mindedly and props it like next to the door on the outside and says to, I guess, the random soldier that she was previously conversing with near the stables. She says in Caramel, "Watch this, will you?" And he looks surprised, like, "Oh, I'm part of this conversation now?"
Oh shit.
But her tone, like, brooks no disagreement, so he will reluctantly approach and take it.
Muninn would say to the guy, don't cut yourself on that.
He recoils in disgust at your smell. And grumbles something to the likes of, you're not quite sure what he said, but he grumbles something to the likes of, didn't think that our host would be invaded by drunks.
I feel like Muninn would ignore that. And then Muninn would probably ignore that, and then they would say to you say Piroshka?
Yep.
Yes, yeah. Muninn would say to Piroshka like, time's wasting.
Indeed.
So,
she points that you should go ahead as she has previously instructed.
Yeah. Okay. In that case, Muninn would sort of go ahead.
Okay. To sort of tie back to something that happened last session, above board, last session, Anghel told Ertuğrul about the person buried in the backyard, and Ertuğrul sent 2 soldiers outside. Hey, go look for that. I believe at this point the 2 soldiers would come out of the estate and sort of bump into your group. And Piroshka says, "Go back inside, will you?" Is someone receiving a phone call?
I'm not.
No.
Yeah, it maybe, I don't know, like 20 years ago, I think, if you had... Oh, it's happening.
It's definitely on Show&Tell's side.
Sorry. I don't know. I'm not doing anything.
It might be your mic doing something. It sounds a bit like when something went wrong with me some time ago.
It more so sounded to me like what would happen, like, again, like 20 years ago when you were about to receive a phone call and you were next to your TV. Your TV would start making that noise.
I don't know. I'm not getting a phone call.
That's so crazy that shit used to that used to happen.
Apparently, it's still happening. But
Well,
except I'm not getting a phone call, so I don't know.
It's fine now, by the way. It was just a one-time thing anyway.
yeah.
What were we saying?
I can't remember. I think.
Oh yeah, Piroshka told them. Told the 2 soldiers, go back inside. The soldiers seem shocked at what the hell is going on. Piroshka says, "Now, will you?" And the soldiers take steps back, even though she's obviously not their commanding officer.
Interesting. Could I look to see whether or not she did that just purely out of intimidation, or is that
Give me
like
careful.
does she have?
Give me a careful.
Okay, cool. With my good eyes, so 4. unless you don't count that.
Sorry, I'm pausing for the reasons you might suspect.
Yes.
She is using a similar tone as she used with your group. Take that as you may. But clearly, these soldiers were sort of, let's say, previously intimidated by her already.
Okay. That's fine. So she's not using,
You're,
as far as I can tell.
You're not necessarily sure that if, like, oh, these soldiers know all the horrible things that she's done, or if it's more of a reputation thing or an instinct thing. It's just this act of intimidation is based on a prior impression. Yes.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. Well, without further ado, yeah, Muninn would carry on into the belly of the beast, so to say.
And I suppose this is a good segue to shift, I guess, to Miroslav, maybe? I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then we'll go to Anghel, and by the end of Angel's, like, oh, what's Anghel been up to, is when I think Muninn will walk into the scene. Does that make sense?
That's fine.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
Okay.
So Milo, Miroslav, you're getting swarmed by slave children. Not a sentence you hear often.
Yeah, Miroslav would, well, first of all, use his stunt to kind of conceal all the money that he has. So, yeah, basically his bag of money, and be like, I don't have anything worth taking on me. I think he told them last time already, like, that he doesn't have much more than the clothes on his body.
And they don't believe you because you're obviously clean. And you implied, I don't remember exactly how, that you were the servant of someone. Yeah.
Yeah, I said that I was the servant of one of the guests.
Ah, right. So first things first. Use your stunt on your money specifically. Okay. They will still give me, I guess, a flashy to see if they are convinced at least to back down somewhat. No, they're not. They they swarm you, and you get the inkling that this is not the first time they've done something like this, where, like, some of them try to grab your attention up front by, like, grabbing your shirt, speaking loudly in your face, while others blatantly get behind you and put their hands in your pockets and all that. What do you do?
Yeah.
Your money is safe per your stunt.
Yeah.
No worries.
And I mean, he doesn't really have a lot of valuable stuff on him. He does have, like, his weapons, I guess.
How do you keep your weapons, I should ask?
I think the hunter's knife is, like, in a, like a holding thing on the pants, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if, like, with a band that is like
Like a holster, yeah.
yeah. And the other tools, I would guess, are in a, like, hip bag or something.
You can clearly tell that they're both trying to take the knife out of the holster and grab the tool bag. They're taking anything that even seems like it's valuable.
Yeah.
Or trying to, at least.
I'm kind of torn between like if I hurt them,
Their parents
it
are
would
nearby.
yeah. Um, but also I have to get out of there somehow.
Or you could just let
Uh,
yourself be mugged, I guess.
Yeah, but I also don't want to lose my stuff.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
understandable.
You could reverse it and try and mug them instead, if you wanted to.
If you can tell me how.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. I how many children are there actually?
I'm gonna roll dice, okay?
Sure.
11.
That's
That's a lot. Yeah.
But also, it makes it a bit less overseeable for everyone around. Because it's a lot.
If you want a bit of like additional context, again, as I mentioned,
Yeah.
some of the parents are nearby. Presumably not all of them. You can never really know. Sorry. And their reaction to seeing you was, who's this guy? Clearly trying to pretend that he's one of us. I'm kind of wary of him, but they're not sure how to approach you. They're watching hesitantly. They seem confident enough to let their children try to mug you, or at least they haven't intervened yet. So they're not super wary of you. But you never know.
I'm sorry for taking so long.
No worries.
Yeah.
No, I relish the chance to stop talking, to be honest.
Also fair. Also fair.
Trying to think of what other information I can give you or clues. Or I can just proceed to begin mugging you, I guess.
What if you... The thing is, obviously, the parents are around, so it's kind of hard to... I can see where you're sort of struggling a bit, because you don't want to try and...
Yeah.
Even morally speaking, that's not my first thought, but even morally speaking, you don't want to be, like, threatening or, like, defending yourself against children, because it's, like...
It's that, and also I don't want to arouse like more
Yeah.
attention.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Of course, like
gonna say
I
beware
am
for
at the
that.
moment contemplating whether I want to be the person I'm with just entered the mansion, but it wouldn't really stop them. So,
I mean, depending on how you word it, it might. I'm I'm willing to. I'm sorry. Because of my manner of talking, I'm willing to entertain lots of solutions, for lack of a better term, to this current situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, alternatively, you could just do very simply. You could just try and like, what was the last thing that was even done? Sorry, like, have you already tried to sort of evade the mugging, or like?
I mean, I at least like basically concealed my money.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, they are going for anything that is on my body.
Right.
In terms of what happened last session, if you want that bit of context, it was mostly Miroslav coming out in the open, like, oh, hey, I'm just one of you guys. All the slaves staring at Miroslav because they know who each other are and they know Miroslav's not one of them. So all of them
Right.
staring at Miroslav. Miroslav sort of pausing in his tracks. The slave children asking him questions. Miroslav stuttering some answers, and then the slave children swarming Miroslav.
Yeah, I mean, you could very simply try and, I mean, if they've tried to lunge at you, you could just very simply try to evade them, like by being quick, or you could just thinking of suggestions. You could probably try to.
I mean, could I try to break free of them?
That Deli, you may, of course, but Deli does bring up a good point. They have not like reached you yet. They're in the process of rushing you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were on me already.
I apologize for not making that clear.
Oh, okay. Then I would try to evade them and go in, like, in this direction. So, more into the eyes of
Muninn and company.
the higher people.
The high people.
Okay. For that, may I get your quick, and I'll oppose with a generic slave child quick, for lack of a better term. Yeah, you're quicker.
Okay.
You start running, and can I get I guess a flashy from you? The higher the roll, the better for you. Okay. I was gonna say if you got a poor roll, they were gonna start yelling out, "We've got a thief," or "We've got a murder," or whatever. But you got a good roll, so they're still more shocked by you than... Yeah. You should have control of your tokens, so feel free to click and drag yourself if you want.
So yeah, I would make my way to the front.
And I guess we're gonna merge Muninn and Miroslav instead of Anghel and Muninn. But as you're about to head in Muninn, you see Miroslav rushing. You see slave children following him, but then they stop in their tracks when they see Piroshka, and they run away in the opposite direction.
Muninn would look to give Muninn would give Miroslav a look to be like, "What are you doing? Like, what is going on?" You know, like they would give him a look like, "Stop messing about," which is very rich coming from Muninn.
Miroslav would just basically, well, kind of, mutter a very polite excuse, as you would expect from a slave, like, apologizing for acting out to his master, I guess, or to his owner.
Oh no!
I get it. Okay.
And just other than that, stay quiet and like a bit hunched, I guess.
Muninn would recoil, I think. After they'd be like, "Oh no, that's not what I meant. Please stop."
Well,
Yeah.
above board, I think Milo/Miroslav is trying to pretend to be one of the
Yes.
estate slaves, not.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Okay.
just pretend to be like, okay, you're one of higher standing and you're talking to
right.
me, so
May I get your sneaky, Milo?
yes. Please be good. Fuck.
Okay, I don't even need to roll for Piroshka, as she says boredly towards Muninn. Friend of yours?
Something like that. More of a recent addition than anything.
Well, we have lots more to talk about. Come on in. She says to Miroslav, "Oh, leave your weapons with me."
He would basically take off his knife and his tool bag, I guess. And like look at her where he should put it.
She points to the off-put soldier standing guard next to Muninn's spear.
Okay. So he would put it down there. He would actually put the knife into the bag as well, just so that everything stays together.
Sure. Soldier glares at you, grumbles like, "What the hell am I doing here?" But allows you to. It would be, I think, Milo, for Miroslav, even more obvious than it is for Muninn that this lady is a Mansi noblewoman. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. She says, "All right, now all of you come on in. You first," indicating Muninn. If those inside don't kill you right away, that'll be a good sign, won't it?
I'd like to see them try.
I'd like to see them try too. Though for different reasons, I think.
Muninn would try not to seem creeped out by that, and they would, like I said, they'd move with purpose. Do you know what I mean? Like they'd try and make themselves seem as confident as possible.
You next, indicating Rebob. Rebob says nothing, follows along. Then she looks at Miroslav and says, "Oh, come on. You have all day."
Yeah. Miroslav would, without any word, like follow the other two.
"You're used to pretending, aren't you?" She says in reference to your failed sneaky roll.
Usually it works better.
Run along now. Above board, the reason why, this woman's a Mansi might be relevant is that it's a place that's closer to Miroslav's backstory, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay. Shall we now, over an hour in, finally see what Angel's up to?
Definitely.
Let's do it.
All right. So,
Even though I don't know how excited it will be.
I mean, above board, you can just say, "Oh yeah, we can fast forward." But in character, you are still on the ground. Your hands are unbound because you need them to talk, but always first these are bound. But again, they're bound with, a piece of cloth. So it's not a strong bond because obviously they didn't have rope on them. The soldiers have their weapons. They're more or less surrounding you. Ertugrul sitting down, sort of playing with a gun, like trying to seem intimidating, of course. He once again stares at you with this look, like trying to discern, where do I know you from? But above board, because he failed some rolls last session, he doesn't quite know where he knows you from, or if he does at all. And
Mhm.
he says something in caramel that don't understand, but he sounds almost exasperated, like sort of, whoa, what are they doing or whatever. And says to you, different question in, again, broken Rima. We established last time that he doesn't speak your language very well, so there's also that bit of language barrier. But he says,
Mhm.
different question. Where from you?
Anghel shrugs and kind of, gestures like around here, kind of, you know.
You from St. Paris? You from New Spring? You from here? Indicating like this overall area.
Anghel shakes his head.
He still has this look like I'm missing something and I'm frustrated by it. So he's like trying to fish for it. So instead he says, what will you do if set free?
Find my friend. Leave.
Says, no need. Send 2 soldiers to look for friend, yes?
They're not coming back.
What mean?
I don't know. We're waiting for a long time. I don't know how long has it been before.
Couple minutes.
Oh, okay. Because you said he was frustrated or like impatient or something. So I was like,
He is more so frustrated, not necessarily, well, presumably also by the fact of the soldiers not being here right away, but it's also frustrated that, oh, I was having a nice meal and it's interrupted, and oh, this person, like, I think I know him, but I don't, and it's sitting on my tongue and it's frustrating. There's a lot of things going on.
okay, I see. Um,
So he says,
okay, so
he says
waiting.
again, find friend, bring here, say all goes well. What next?
Leave.
Where?
What are we telling him?
You could tell him anything.
He will ask, seeing your hesitation, he will ask, you go to Ophelia? Above board because you mentioned Ophelia last session, but go ahead, please.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, what did I tell him about Ophelia? That I knew her and that's it?
Yeah, pretty much that you knew her. And when he asked you, oh, where is she, and more specific questions, you did not answer.
Okay. To Ophelia. Do we know where Ophelia is?
Yep.
Yes.
Across the river.
Yep. Damn it. Okay. I'm not bad at making up stories on the spot. Oh my god. I'm not bad, did I say? I said I meant I'm not good. I'm so tired.
Silence unbecoming is saying yes.
What did he say? Silence what?
Unbecoming.
Okay.
Is saying yes. Again, language barrier.
I think I understood, I think.
As in, hey, you're being rude because you're quiet.
Okay. What do you care about Ophelia?
That my business, not yours. You in my house, not your house. You know that this is not his house, but yeah, he's language barrier makes it difficult to like carry over idioms and such.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do.
Threats against you no work, yes? What about threats against him? Points at Always Thirsty. Who, although I was sort of translating mechanically, but now that he's being threatened, he like freezes.
I won't let you hurt him.
You think you have a choice?
I have meat.
Then speak and avoid the trouble. Last chance. Or I tell soldiers to cut off a finger of him. Points at Always Thirsty.
Oh no. What is thirsty? No.
Should I tell him I'm with Ophelia? I don't know.
Tough to say. I mean,
Because I feel like that could.
I mean, other than the various political shenanigans involved, the fact that you said you know Ophelia caused you to be tied.
Yeah,
right.
for sure. But like. But he doesn't know Ophelia's here, right?
He is weirded out by one of her presumed servants being here, although he doesn't have confirmation of that, obviously. So he expects, wait, is something going on?
You could say,
Yeah.
because we're all heading to St. Paris, you could say that that's where we're headed. But you don't have to say that that's where... I mean, you don't have to say that she's here. Or whatever.
Right.
A reminder, the question was, when you leave this place, assuming everything goes well, are you going to go to Ophelia?
Right.
Yeah. Are we going to go to Ophelia? Damn it.
You could just say no.
Yeah, but that would be sneaky, right?
I suppose. But
I would then ask you, Show&Tell, is Angel's intention to go back to Ophelia? And yeah.
He doesn't. Okay, fine. Okay, let's try for the sneaky then. Probably won't work, but
We'll try for the sneaky then. So, taking it one step at a time, what does Anghel say?
yeah. No.
Okay.
I wanted to come up with something else to say, but
Okay. You say no. I'm assuming above board, Show&Tell, you plan on continuing being more or less indirectly affiliated with Ophelia going forward. Like,
yeah, more or less for now, yes.
So it is going to be a sneaky. May I get your sneaky, please?
Against his... Oh my god, okay. That's not gonna work.
No, we never say never.
But...
You do have fate points and your birthday inspirations if you want to use them, or we can leave it at that, of course.
Let's use some fate points. Free up some space. But I need to invoke something.
Of course. The birthday inspirations, you don't have to specify what you invoke. It's just for the fate points.
Okay, let's see if I can find something that I can invoke, and if not, um, oh shit, I have so many character sheets. I don't know which one is which.
Oh shit.
I'll post something in that Discord if you could give me a minute, or if you don't find it in the meanwhile.
Hmm. Prince Charming style. That's the last one, right?
Welcome back, Milo. Give me a second. So, show and tell. Prince Charming style, I believe that's the more or less latest change.
How many approaches do we, like, points do we have?
You currently have 6 fate points and 2 birthday inspirations.
No, I mean the approaches, like, just so I know. Like the, just so I know that I have the, like, that this sheet is the latest one.
Oh, you have 5 aspects. I'll
Approach, like, how many, how do I say this? Like, points do we have in approaches at this point?
you
Like, total.
try to roll a sneaky. You have a I posted
16?
I posted your thing in the Discord chat. I finally found it.
Sorry. Yeah, it's not whatever. I don't think I changed anything. True drastic. Okay, I need to explain why I
Well,
can lie.
I don't think you said an aspect that you're invoking yet.
No, that's what I'm trying to think about.
Hmm?
Like I'm trying, like in my head, I'm trying to like I need to explain why
Yeah.
an aspect helps Anghel to lie.
Wait, let me see.
I mean, maybe because it's to protect someone who was basically dragged into it.
You mean Ophelia? Or Reba?
I mean, I don't know exactly what is going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, if you need an aspect to lie.
Milo, just for
I mean,
a
you've
bit.
got a few, I think. So,
I'm sorry, my internet lagged out.
Did we catch up with? Did we catch up with
Not
Anghel?
yet. Not yet.
I guess.
Not yet.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
I'm
so
sorry.
it's still
sorry,
only Anghel and always thirsty, right?
Yep. And
Okay.
Milo, what you missed while you were BRB, sorry, my internet lagged out, was that this fellow asked, "Hey, when you're gonna leave, are you going to go to Ophelia?" And Angel said, "No, I'm not going to Ophelia." Totally lying.
Okay.
Because he can't think of anything, okay? He's a slow thinker.
yeah.
So,
So if you want to use an aspect to lie, like using a fate point, etc. Obviously, birthday inspiration doesn't need fate points, right?
Correct.
yeah, we
aspects,
always
sorry.
have that. I'm just thinking that,
If you don't want to use
You
the
know.
birthday inspiration,
yeah, I can save it for something else, but
you
if
could.
I can find anything.
Yeah.
I mean, you could say that after that you would try to find your sister that was kidnapped. I don't know.
I mean,
But it would also be
okay.
bad because it's of the soldiers.
Well, Milo, currently the situation is Angel said, "No, I'm not going to go to Ophelia." That has happened, and we're resolving whether that is believed or not. What Anghel says
Right.
afterwards is a different question. Make sense?
Makes sense.
Okay, so like I'm thinking it is kind of trying to protect Ophelia, right? Why is Anghel lying anyway?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
So you want to
Okay.
use that aspect, okay? Are you using it to reroll or to give yourself +2?
I mean, it's less than average, right? My
You
roll.
above board. You will need to get the best possible roll just to match him on a reroll. Because
Right.
you have a sneaky of 2, he rolled a 6.
Yeah, but a +2 will get me to 3.
Hmm?
And then I will need to think of another aspect.
2 more.
2 more. Oh my god, that's crazy. And I'm so stupid, I just closed it. Oh my god. Okay.
two more. Jesus. Which one did you use already? The protecting.
Protective.
Well,
Okay.
is in the process of using, but yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure.
If you need one more, recently orphaned peasant boy. Not to paint a stereotype, but I feel like orphans. I mean, if they've been orphaned from a young age, in the Middle Ages or whatever, so wouldn't they have to learn to lie pretty well to get by, like begging, borrowing, stealing, and everything like that?
It's only been like
Yeah, he
2
hasn't.
weeks since the
He
orphaning.
hasn't been orphaned that long.
Oh, my bad. No, you're
And
right.
he wasn't that young. I mean, he's still the same age. but-
No, my bad. I've forgotten how long Arthur's been a. I think I was thinking of King Arthur when I said Arthur. But anyway, I've forgotten how long Anghel was being orphaned for or whatever. But how about instead? Because your lie is no, I don't know if that works or not. I was gonna say it's a bit of a reach, right? My proposal is your whole goal, your like number one mission, is to, or Anghel's number one mission is to save his sister. And one of your aspects it says family killed and sister kidnapped by soldiers. So
Yeah.
although this guy doesn't know that you're after your sister, maybe your lie would be more believable because you're convicted. Like, yeah, I am going after my sister next. What of it? You know, in your head.
What does Anghel's sister have to do with the current situation?
Because
I think I said the same thing earlier already.
oh, you did?
Yeah.
No way. Because I was thinking like, because your lie is like, I'm not gonna go see Ophelia next.
Yes.
Right. So you're lying about it because in your head I'm like, I want to convince this guy that I'm gonna go see my sister next. So that's why your lie makes it more believable, and that's why you're using that aspect, because you in your head are are almost convincing yourself, right?
It's permissible, but is that what Anghel thinks?
Is that what Anghel thinks? Show&Tell.
I mean, I can see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm also just thinking, like, why, like, the reason we're even lying and trying to protect Ophelia and all that is to get to save Willa, right?
Right, so it's not even really a lie, to be honest. It's just a stretch of the truth.
I mean, it is a lie, but it's for the sake of Willa at the end of the day, kind of. So,
yes.
So sister kidnapped is the reason why he's lying.
Per the rules, it's permissible, but I would, again, you have these two aspects that you're thinking of using.
Yeah.
We haven't even established what you would use them for.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think because I need 3, so I'm just trying.
Sure.
So I have 2 right now, right?
Sure. I'm sorry. I was trying to goad you into gambling and potentially losing, or likely losing.
Hmm. And the third one.
I have a few in mind, but again, they're all stretches, or reaches even, should I say? Do you want me to share them, or should I keep my mouth shut for fear of saying something silly?
Go ahead. I mean, I don't mind if you say something silly.
Okay, I do because this is on the record. But so there's a few aspects. So obviously you've already used family sister kidnapped. You've already used that. Protective and righteous.
Yes.
You could be a so blind in one eye.
Yes.
The thing that I'm thinking, which is very silly, is that because you're kind of like a younger lad and you're not a soldier, are you? And you're blind in one eye. So this guy's like more inclined to believe you because you're just a little lad, like you're not here to do any harm. Like, he's blind for God's sake. Like, leave him alone.
Okay, that is a stretch.
That's a very big stretch. I might pull something if I stretch anymore. Might pull a muscle.
I'm not opposed to it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Okay, let's go. Then we do all these three to get a 7.
Cut to me handing Teeironor like $20 under the table. Yeah, I'm not.
No, Deli. Cut to me using the advantage that I made last session.
Really?
Oh,
no, I'm joking. I think I'll keep it in case. I think I'll keep it in case for God knows what reason, like actual combat occurs, because you never know.
Thank God.
Yeah.
After all that effort and all that stretching.
Okay. So, viewers, after we have skipped ahead like 10 minutes, the conclusion was, hey you little boy, are you gonna go to Ophelia after all this is done? No, I'm not. Okay. Then he will ask instead, you going to Alexandros? The prince.
You got to limber up for this one.
No, actually, let me retract that. He will not say Alexandros. He would say, you going to Zamfir, and you don't know who that is.
Anghel shrugs.
Give me a flashy.
Let's go. Flashy. Where's my flashy?
You don't know Zamfir, but you know Abdul.
It's the other Abdul. Yeah.
You say that?
No. I wish. Yes.
How you know Abdul?
There's only one Abdul here, I guess so. That's a good question.
It is a good question.
I can't believe you didn't ask that before.
Do you remember how you first met Rebob on that note?
Yeah, we had this duel.
Yeah, you wrestled him, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Good times.
Good times.
How do I know Abdul?
We don't really.
Yeah, you
So-
don't like me. Oh yeah, I don't know him. I just decided he's my friend. And I'm going to rescue.
Not to. If you're stuck on stuff to say, you could say like you could be outright and say we don't, or you could say like I overheard his name, like because it's not a lie, is it? But you could say
But Anghel called Abdul his friend.
Yeah, no, like Anghel said that he's here because he heard Abdul was buried.
Sorry, I missed that bit. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know him that well, but I just.
I'm here because he's no, okay. So what about local legend? You could say like, oh, he's a local legend. You could literally make stuff up.
I guess by virtue of the fact of being the only person of color in vicinity, he would be of notoriety.
I guess.
Normally, I guess.
But him being a local legend.
Yeah, debatable if that makes him a friend.
What do we know about him? What did we?
We
met him and
about Abdul specifically. You met him in the town. He seemed very, very not frightened, but like anxious about something. He recoiled from Munin's smell, and he had a very, very similar garb with Rebop, indicating that they're probably in the same profession.
Mm-hmm.
You could say, sorry, I don't mean to. I just.
Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go.
I just thought about something stupid, like I met him in the market.
But that's not stupid because it's true, isn't it?
Sort of. It was on the way or something. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, not quite the market, but close.
Oh, okay. Well,
I think it was either next to the bridge or over the bridge.
Next to the bridge.
Like on the way to or we thought he was going to the market. I don't remember why market.
He was coming from.
Got stuck in my head.
He was coming from the same direction that the market was, but that was also the same direction that like this place was, and obviously whatever else may be in this direction.
Yeah. Anyway, it makes sense to me that you would meet like a servant or something in the market.
Sure. So do you answer? How do you know Abdul? You answer, I met him in the market.
Yeah.
So
do I need a sneaky for that? 2.
Flashy, I guess, because it's not really a lie.
Okay. Please, flashy, please.
Oh, I need to roll to oppose, I guess. Okay. He says, not believing you clearly, he says, so what, you a seller, merchant, and he come buy from you? Clearly with an expression that he doesn't believe you.
No, I buy too.
What is Zamfir plotting? Tell me. You don't know. You don't even know who he's talking about.
Yeah, but now I do know that it's connected to Abdul somehow. Probably his master?
You may presume that.
Never met Zamfir.
Give me a flashy. Cut off his finger, indicating always thirsty.
Oh my god, no!
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but
he says
Oh my god.
he says in Rima and then says it in caramel, just to make the point extra clear to Anghel.
No. What are we doing?
My prince, he says. Always thirsty.
Oh shit. Anghel.
Prince, Ertuğrul says.
Oh, that's a good point.
Mhm.
He didn't know that you were a prince.
Okay.
He
Anghel shrugs.
tells the soldier to wait. What prince?
You know.
Sighs and tells the soldier to resume what he was doing.
No, tell me. What can we say about this? The Prince of
Always thirsty mumbles, my prince, please, 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 as the soldier draws
my
over
God.
closer.
I don't know what to do. Okay, I guess we're going to combat. I don't know what to do.
Sure.
Anghel, like, I guess, maybe grabs Always Thirsty away from the soldier.
Give me actually you don't necessarily need to roll because the soldier will step back because he's not like allowed to harm you yet. Will step back when you do so. And Ertuğrul doesn't order the soldiers to kill you yet. He says, so you see that I'm serious? Are you ready to be serious? And I think,
I'm always serious. Okay. Okay.
would this be a good time for the rest of the party to show up?
Please, please. Help me.
And
Yes.
perhaps have that happen because we're a little bit low on time next session.
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah, okay. I can live with that.
Okay.
Yay! We managed to nearly get together again.
That was hard.
Yeah. That was a tough
Oh my
one.
God.
In
Ah.
terms of like in-game time, like 2 or so minutes elapsed for Muninn and Miroslav, and for Anghel, I think like 3 minutes at most.
Oh my god. Well, we've done well. What can I say?
Yeah. Amazing.
Thoughts on today's session? As I mute because I'm gonna cough.
Yeah. Not too bad. Do you know what? Me personally, anyway, I feel like it was cool to be back, as it always is when we take a break and everything. But I'm excited to find out that this lady is a cannibal. So everyone,
That's very exciting.
yeah. So that like suspicions can be put to rest. I mean, it would be hilarious if she doesn't end up being a cannibal. He's very enthusiastic about.
I mean, what else
home
can it
cooking.
be? She bathes in blood. I mean, even that probably means she kills someone.
Yeah. Maybe
Or
she's just.
something.
Yeah, she could just be like an American Psycho kind of situation where she's just a murderer. But I sure,
Just
but you know, yeah,
For some reason, I remember, like, the blood was connected to her breath or something.
Yeah, her
Well,
breath
yeah.
smelled like blood.
Mhm.
that's the thing that's like,
Yeah.
The
Okay.
one
So it's
person that
definitely.
smelled it isn't here anymore.
yeah,
Yeah.
and by the fact that only that person who has had a very acute sense of smell smelled it, it's probably not something you can detect unless, yeah.
Is that because Illona was a cat person, or is that?
Yeah.
because Yeah. Okay. Because I was gonna say, because Muninn has good smell too, but not as good as a cat. So that makes sense either way.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Even if we had good noses, we probably wouldn't be able to smell it right now.
Because of Muninn.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Rub it in, why don't you?
Overpowers most smells.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was funny. It was funny because earlier I was going to make Muninn say something like, "Oh, you smell of death," but then I held my tongue to the woman.
unironically, I don't know. Sorry, pausing for. Yeah. I don't know what's more likely to cause a conflict with Ertuğrul and his soldiers. Anghel not answering questions or Muninn smell, and I'm unironic when saying that.
Fair enough.
I'm looking forward to that. And I feel bad for that dude. Honestly. He just came here for some celebration and now has to deal with us.
That's unfortunate.
I mean, we have to deal with him. We didn't even want to. It was all just...
I mean...
It's so stupid. Oh my god, I can't believe...
But honestly, I'm glad we're all together again.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. It's always best to have the party together, isn't it?
Yeah.
We can all big brain together now.
You say, "Oh, poor this soldier," but it's almost poor Anghel and Miroslav stuck in an enclosed space with Muninn smell.
Fair. But also, I didn't say poor soldier. I just said I feel bad for him for having to deal with us.
Fair.
When he just wanted to celebrate. So, or whatever they were doing.
Yeah, they were partying, yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah. We'll see what happens. I don't know if there's much more I can add to, like, my own thoughts or asking for your guys' input on today. We, other than talking about Piroshka, which obviously would veer into possible spoilers, or I imagine at some point you guys will suspect that she's actually even far worse than she actually is somehow.
Oh shit.
I'm glad I got to escape the kids.
Yeah, that was an accomplishment. For sure.
What? Yeah. Oh my god. That was something. I was fully because it's I was fully like ready to see you throw hands at toddlers, you know, like I was ready for it. But you seemed really morally conflicted about that.
For some reason.
For some reason.
I didn't want to throw hands, and I was very relieved when you told me, like, yeah, they are about to, like, jump you. They're not in your pockets yet.
Yeah.
Because that's what I thought it was. Like, I thought they were already on me.
Yeah.
Kids are vicious.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
I have been in the situation of multiple kids hanging on me. It is not nice.
I have been in a situation like that too. Admittedly, when I was younger, but still.
Yeah.
Deli, I'm curious. You don't have to, you don't have to share this. You said that you had a theory about how Ertuğrul maybe knows Anghel or not. Do you want to share that, or do you want to keep that to yourself?
Because of the eyes thing. Yeah, I had a feeling that maybe he knew Angel's parents or something because Angel's recently divorced. Anghel...
Orphaned.
Orphaned, yeah. Angel's recently been orphaned, so I thought maybe he knows as Angel's parents' eyes. I think wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I was thinking maybe he saw Willa somewhere. I don't know though.
I also thought more that he saw the sister somewhere.
Yeah. It could be that too. He's
I don't know where he would see her.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I feel like either way, this guy must know at least one of your family members or Angel's family members.
I guess,
even.
yeah.
Because that's a very specific thing to say. That I know your eyes. He could have met one of the. This really is like a. He could have met one of the other Prince Charmings, and you give off your eyes are the same because of. But I really, really don't believe that. I think like he must know one of your family members or knew, at least.
The third thing that it could be is that it's the eyes of somebody that has basically lost everything.
Oh, like more metaphorical.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
could
that's
also
too.
sad
be.
though.
It could be that too.
That's deep.
That is quite deep. It's quite profound.
Like I know that your eyes.
The only
Yeah.
Trained before.
The only thing I will say is because Anghel was present when he lost his family, he would know that this person was not among the people who specifically took his family away.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I didn't think that he killed them because you said they weren't the same soldiers.
Yeah, not even the same like social category of soldiers. These are
Um,
noblemen. The people who did that to you were rather impoverished.
okay.
Yeah, so
he-
I don't know.
He must know your sister then.
I mean, I don't know if
Or,
maybe just
yeah,
saw somewhere.
Yeah, something.
But I don't think we didn't see him in any of those flashes of.
Of
When
like when you visited Willa, no, you did not.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
The only, as far as you guys know, this person's only prior appearance in our campaign was in the cinematic and more so as a cameo, and his name was dropped. So as far as you know, emphasizing that you guys have not met him yet before this.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
So yeah, this guy mysterious.
Very.
To say the least.
Not that he's necessarily trying to be.
Yeah,
Mm.
but he got that aura about him.
I should say I'm not even sure what to use as a thumbnail for this episode. For the past two, I've been using the estate as the thumbnail, but I have to think of something.
Yeah, could use the picture of an actual thumb with a show off its nail.
Sure thing, Deli.
Yes, the finger that he wanted to cut off from Elvish Celestial.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely what I meant. Yeah.
I guess you can see always first these fingers in his token. I don't know.
Okay, that's funny.
Well, then I would ask, any other thoughts for our viewers, or before we go into our usual shoutouts?
No.
I don't think so.
I just hope that Miroslav only knows, or doesn't know Piroshka in
Personally.
particular. Yeah.
We can talk about that in private, Milo.
Yeah.
Above board, if you Milo want that to be the case, we can work around it, or we can stick to the current situation of just being kind of, but not really geographically linked to where you were.
Yeah, I think I will keep it this way.
Fair enough.
I didn't know what exactly was planned, so I was like,
Fair enough.
yeah.
All right. Anything else from any of you?
No.
Eat your
Not for me.
vegetables.
Then, dear viewers, thank you for watching and listening to us. Let's have these people talk about themselves and what they're doing. I roll dice. Dice say Milo ought to go first. Could you please go ahead, Milo?
Okay. I am Milo or MiloAndVe. I am a Goblin VTuber. I stream on Twitch, and I also do commissions. And sometimes I post my art on Blue Sky. I'm trying to get better at that.
Mm.
And I will probably say it every single time because, yeah. But yeah, you can see my art there, and yeah,
Do you
very
have
comfy streams.
do you have other places where you post your art? I know you draw on Twitch, but I mean, do you have like an Instagram or DeviantArt where you post them, or just Blue Sky?
No, just Blue Sky and in my Discord.
Okay, noted. Sorry.
No worries.
Thank you very, very much, Milo. Next, according to the dice, we would have Show&Tell. Could you please go ahead and talk about yourself and what you are doing?
Yes, hi. So I'm Show&Tell, and I make reactions to anime mostly. Like I have a two YouTube channels and Patreon, and yeah.
That she does. Thank you very, very much, Show&Tell. And then, of course, we would have Deli. Could you please go ahead and talk about yourself and what you are doing?
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. I'm Deli. I am a mushroom VTuber on Twitch.tv. You can find me there, and you can also find me, actually, nowadays, a lot on Blue Sky, because I don't really like using Twitter anymore. And I feel like I'm having a lot more fun on Blue Sky.
It's so much more chill. There's no... I don't know, on Twitter I get an ad for... I'm even afraid of saying the word out loud because I feel like even saying the word will attract bots. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly,
say no
it's
more.
real. It's true.
Yeah. No, genuinely.
It's creepy.
But either way, you can find me there nowadays, and feel free to say hi. And also, please feel free to check out my Discord server. They're all the links to my stuff is on the screen on my card.
and in the description for ease of like clicking or pressing if you're on your phone.
Yes.
Sorry. Thank you very, very much, Deli. And I, dear viewers, was your Dungeon Master, Game Master Teeironor. I do this series, which is a lot of fun, and typically we don't spend just minutes of in-game time on one session. Usually it's like at least 10 minutes, okay? But we, other than that, do another campaign, a different group of lovely people, currently on hiatus. My fault. Some IRL scheduling stuff prevents me from doing the other campaign more often. Complicated scheduling stuff. But we'll be back hopefully late November-ish. Hopefully. Other than that, thank you once again, dear viewers, for watching and listening to us. We should be back next week, but I'll let you all know on Twitter, unfortunately, and Blue Sky, if for whatever reason we have to delay an episode. But nevertheless, we will see you when we'll see you. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.